Good day everyone, this is Teacher William.
This is Teacher Laika.
This is Teacher Hazel. This is Teacher Aya. This is Teacher Dab.
And
Welcome to the study of Christy.
Good day everyone, this is William Reyes from Study Hub 6. At this discussion, we are able to have the three important key points. First is to identify the key factors that influence physical, cognitive, language, and social, emotional, and moral development in adolescents. Second, we have is analyze the implications of these factors on the educational experiences of a high school learners. Lastly, we have is apply the strategies to support adolescents' development in terms of various education and social context. So good day, class. Before we're gonna proceeding for our final discussion, let me first ask you what changes that occur in terms of our physical development as we get older. So in this discussion, we are able to differentiate and to know what are the physical changes that might happen to us in terms of physical development. Physical development. Here are the following core points in order for us to identify, to know what are the physical development. First is the puberty. It talks about the puberty is a period of rapid growth of sexual development that starts between ages 8 to 14 years old. It emphasizes while the sequence of changes predictable to onset of pace varying it greatly changes. Secondly, we have is hormonal changes. So hormonal changes talks about the puberty. It's driven by hormonal activity, particularly surge for an estrogen in girls and testosterone in boys. These hormones play organizational and activational roles, forming and triggering changes in the body. So we have also sexual maturation. So this sexual maturation is development. It talks about the primary sex of characteristic. Talks about the productive organs. The secondary sex characteristic. It talks about the physical signs of sexual maturity. So we have also the growth spurt. It talks about the adolescents experience a rapid increase of height and weight during the puberty. It's also known as the growth spurt. This spurt occurs about 2 years later in males than the females' recreations to puberty. So in this lesson or in this module, it reacts to the physical changes of puberty. It highlights also the potential for both pride and embarrassment. It discusses also the impact of the early and late maturation of social and emotional well-being for every particular person in different outcomes for the boys and girls. So technically speaking, those are the concepts for physical development into basic puberty, maturation in terms of. Here are the best examples for physical development. Phenomenon itself, it is importance of understanding the individual variability in terms of pubertal and timing and its impact to adolescents' development. It highlights the potential for associated with early and late maturation, particularly for girls. So technically speaking, there is some changes both for female and male, girls and boys in terms. So for additional information, so when you see physical development, it's something as a physical what we see in what you see class, but based on our physical body. So technically speaking, there is some changes or factors that are considered for us to have the physical changes. So just like our genes, traits, or physical development in terms of our development, in terms of our organs, maturity. Those are physical development changes that might occur in our physical body. So I hope you learned something from this discussion. And once again, this is Teacher William from Study House 6. My co-teacher will be Teacher Laika and talks about another topic for this inspiring video.
Thank you, Teacher William. Good day, teaching everyone. I am your teacher, Laika, and now we will discuss about the John Spaghetti's theory. So now, what is John Spaghetti's theory? So the theory of John Piaget's is about the cognitive development stages. So Piaget suggests that children move through four different stages of learning. His theory focuses not only on understanding how children acquire knowledge, but also on understanding the nature of intelligence. So here we have the stages of Piaget's theory. We have the sensory motor stage, birth to 2 years, pre-operational stage, age 2 to 7, concrete operational stage, age 7 to 11, formal operational stage, age 12 and up. So Piaget's believe that children take an active role in the learning process, acting much like scientists as they perform experiments, make observations, and um, learn about the world. So as kids interact with the world around them, they continually add new knowledge from how they interact or how they socialize through other people. And they adapt previously held ideas to accommodate new informations. So much of Piaget's interest in the cognitive development of children was inspired by the observation of his own nephew and his own daughter. This observation enforced his building hypothesis that children minds were not merely smaller versions of adult minds. So Piaget believed that the children gets knowledge through socialization, not just through like teaching them by their parents or peer or guidance around them. So in conclusion, John Piaget's story of cognitive development foundational in understanding how children think, learn, and understand the world. Piaget proposed that cognitive development occurs in four stages: operational and formal operational. These stages represent distinct ways in which children process information and solve children and solve problem. So Piaget emphasized that children actively construct their understanding through interaction with their environment, moving from simple to higher movements to to more complex thoughts processes as they grow. So he believes that children learns by their doing, so or how they move through their environments. His story has had a profound influence on education, child psychology, and developmental science. However, later research explained in his ideas, referring our understanding of the timing and nature of complex. About the nature of cognitive changes, despite the Piaget's work remains a critical conservative in developmental psychology. So even though that the theory of John Piaget um, has been in the longest time, but still we still use John Piaget's story through to our daily life, especially in education and in psychologies. It 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 is present in how we observe children and how we should think or observe on what were they or how they gain knowledge. So that will be all for my discussion. I hope you gain knowledge from me from John Pigot's story. Again, John Pigot's story about the cognitive.
Thank you for that, Teacher Laika. So, a pleasant day, my students. My name is Teacher Hazel, and for this final topic, which is topic 5, I am going to discuss about social development, the key factors influencing it, and some real-life examples for further understanding. So, without further ado, let's get the learning going. To begin, what is social development? Social development refers to the process by which individuals acquire the skills, attitudes, and behaviors necessary to navigate and thrive in their social environments. It involves learning how to build relationships, communicate effectively, and understand social norms and roles. Social development is a critical part of overall human development, significantly influenced by interactions with peers, family, and the broader societal and cultural context. So now that we have a clear definition of social development, let us move on to the key factors that influence it. We have 4, which are the peer relationships, family dynamics, cultural influences, and lastly, bullying and social challenges. Starting off with peer relationships. During adolescence, peers play a crucial role in shaping social skills, identity, and self-esteem. Positive peer interactions build a sense of belonging and support, while negative interactions, such as peer rejection or bullying, can harm self-esteem and emotional health. Under peer relationships, we have social skills, where adolescents learn negotiation, cooperation, conflict resolution, and communication skills through interactions with peers. Identity formation, where peers influence how teens see themselves and their place in the world. They often serve as a mirror for self-reflection and a source of validation. And lastly, self-esteem, where positive peer relationships can enhance confidence, while negative experiences, such as exclusion or rejection, can lead to lower self-esteem. Second, we have family dynamics. Families provide the foundation for social development, particularly during early childhood, by modeling social norms, emotional regulation, and interpersonal relationships. As adolescents grow, family dynamics, such as parental support or conflict, continue to shape their capacity to build and maintain healthy relationships. Under family dynamics, we have attachment, where secure attachment in childhood promotes trust and healthy social relationships, while insecure attachment can lead to difficulties in social interactions. Communication, where open and effective family communication supports problem solving and emotional expression, aiding social skills. And lastly, support systems, where a supportive family environment cultivates self-esteem and provides a safe space for social exploration. Third, we have cultural influences. Cultural norms and expectations impact how individuals interact, express emotions, and resolve conflicts. Social development is shaped by the cultural context in which individuals grow, affecting their understanding of relationships and community roles. Under cultural influences, we have norms and values, which define what is considered appropriate behavior in social settings. Cultural practices, where traditions and rituals teach social expectations and community roles. And lastly, social identity, where cultural background influences self-concept and group affiliation. For the fourth and last one, we have bullying and social challenges. Adverse experiences, such as bullying, can hinder social development by causing anxiety, social withdrawal, or aggression. Understanding and addressing these challenges is essential to promoting resilience and healthy social growth. Under bullying and social challenges, we have the impact of bullying, which erodes confidence and creates barriers to forming trusting relationships, increases risk of mental health issues like depression and social withdrawal, and limits opportunities to develop key social skills such as conflict resolution and teamwork. And lastly, we have the effect of social challenges, which shapes identity through repeated negative interactions or marginalization, can reinforce the maladaptive behaviors, such as isolation or aggression, without supportive intervention, and interferes with academic and emotional well-being, compounding difficulties in future interactions. Now that we have a good understanding of the key factors, let us finally take a look at the two real-life examples for each, both positive and negative. Number 1, for peer relationships, we have the first example. A teenager who joins a soccer team learns teamwork, leadership, and collaboration, improving their ability to navigate social dynamics. For the second example, a student who faces peer pressure to conform to a trend learns how to assert their individuality while maintaining friendships. For number 2, we have family dynamics. So for the first example, we have a child growing up in a supportive family feels confident in forming friendships due to secure attachment. For the second example, in a family with high conflict, a teenager might struggle with trust and face difficulty building relationships. For number 3, we have cultural influences. So for the first example, a child raised in a collectivist culture learns the importance of community and teamwork, influencing their social interactions. And for the second example, we have an adolescent from an individualistic culture develops strong self-expression skills, but may face challenges adapting to group-focused settings. Lastly, for number 4, we have bullying and social challenges. For the first example, we have a middle school student who experiences cyberbullying becomes withdrawn, highlighting the need for online safety education. For example number 2, we have a school implements a peer-led anti-bullying program, resulting in improved social dynamics within the campus and a reduction in bullying incidents. So that sums up my topic for topic 5, which is social development. I hope you learned something and thank you for listening. Moral development to be discussed up next by teacher Ira Buglis. Thank you.
Thank you, Teacher Hazel. So I will discuss about moral development. So when we say moral development, it refers to the process through which individuals learn to distinguish right from wrong, develop ethical reasoning, and form values that guide their behavior. It is influenced by cognitive growth, social interactions, and cultural norms. Two prominent theories by Jean Piaget and Lawrence Kohlberg provide foundational frameworks for understanding moral development. Jean Piaget's theory identified two main stages of moral development based on children's cognitive maturity and social experiences. So first, heteronomous morality of 4 to 7 years old. Rules are viewed as fixed and unchangeable, imposed by authority figures. So, moral judgment focus on consequences rather than intention. Example, a child might believe breaking 3 plates accidentally is worse than breaking 1 plate on purpose because the outcome seems larger. Second, we have the autonomous morality. So, children understand that rules are agreements created through mutual consent and can change over time. So, moral reasoning shifts to focus on intentions rather than outcomes. So for example, a child may excuse a lie told to protect someone's feelings, understanding the positive intent behind the action. So Piaget emphasized that moral reasoning develops through peer interactions where children learn fairness, cooperation, and equality. So while in Lawrence Kohlberg's theory, Kohlberg expanded Piaget's ideas, proposing 6 stages of moral development grouped into 3 levels. Number 1, we have the pre-conventional level. Punishment. Actions are judged by avoiding punishment. Stage 2, individualism and exchange. Morality is based on self-interest and mutual benefit. For example, a child shares their toy expecting to get something in return. So next, we have the conventional level, which is the adolescence. Stage 3, good interpersonal relationships. So actions seek approval and maintain relationships. Stage 4, maintaining social order. Morality focuses on upholding laws and societal rules. For example, an adolescent follows school rules to ensure order and fairness. Last level, we have the post-conventional level, which is the adulthood. Stage 5, social contract. Laws are seen as flexible agreements aimed at the greater good. 6, universal ethical principles. Morality is guided by abstract principles like justice and human rights. Example, an adult protests an unjust law, prioritizing ethical principles over societal rules. Kohlberg used dilemmas to study how individuals justify their moral decisions, showing how reasoning evolves from self-interest to universal principles. So overall, both Piaget and Kohlberg offer valuable insights into moral development. Piaget's work highlights the early stages of rule following and the growing importance of intent, while Kohlberg extends this process into adulthood, emphasizing justice and ethical principles. These theories underscore that moral growth is not about learning rules but developing reasoning skills and empathy. Practically, educators and parents can encourage moral reasoning by fostering discussions about ethical dilemmas, promoting fairness in group activities, and modeling principled behavior. So that would be all, and the next topic would be discussed by Teacher Daphne.
Thank you so much, Teacher Ira. Hello, students. I am Teacher Daph, and in this lesson, I will be discussing emotional development. So, emotional development. So, adolescence is a time when teenagers go through big changes in how they feel. They figuring out who they are, what they believe in, and how to handle their emotions. It's important to help them learn how to manage stress and cope with changes, as well as comfortable talking about their feelings. So here are some ways to support teenagers' emotional development. Number 1, create a safe space. Make sure teenagers feel comfortable sharing their feelings without being judged. Listen to them and talk openly. Number 2, teach them how to manage their emotions. Help them understand their feelings, find ways to deal with stress and anger, and practice relaxing. Number 3, boost their confidence. Encourage them to explore their interests and talents. Help them build a positive view of themselves. And number 4, encourage strong relationships. Support their connections with family, friends, and mentors. Help them communicate well and set boundaries. And lastly, number 5, address mental health issues. Beware of signs of anxiety, depressions, or other mental health problems. Offer resources and help them get professional support if needed. So overall, being a teen is a wild ride.
It's time of a huge emotional ups and downs as they figure out who they are and how the world works. Helping them to learn handle the stress, bounce back from the tough times, and feel okay talking about their feelings is really important. We can do this by creating a safe space where they feel heard and understood, teaching them coping skills, cheering them on to find their passions, and supporting their friendships and family connections. And of course, keeping an eye out for any signs they might need extra help with their mental health. Basically, it's all about being there for them as they navigate this exciting, sometimes bumpy journey. So that would be all for my topic. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you learned something from our lessons. Bye, children. Thanks for listening.
Reference